Thank you, Monica. Uh, Mr. Acharya, Dr. Jha, Mr. Mahapatra, Mr. Sahai, Mr. Chama, Dr. Mukesh Kumar, Mr. Rao, Monica, your teammates at PMS Metalogic in the background, students, ladies and gentlemen, and friends. I was anxious, 8 minutes, 480 seconds, how much can you pour and what can you pour? So I divided my 9 minutes of speech into 3 parts. Number one, new product development, and more so because this is a sequel, this is a trilogy. Someone told me, pandemic took a hit, there's nothing new movie coming out. I said, there's a great sequel going on, Vocal for Local. You should look at that. It's done a ton of good to the steel industry. So this is the last sequel in Vocal for Local. So I'll be touching upon new product development, Vocal for Local, and then go into what new product development means for a country like India, ending with a small, a minute, 2-minute talk about American Precoat and Electro galvanized steel. So new product development need not be emanating from a rocket science or intellectual patent right or from $1 billion investment. New product development for a country like India essentially is plugging the loophole, plugging the gaps. It's like, because the market is dynamic, future is uncertain. So what is it that you require to keep on moving forward and at the same time deriving benefits out of those gaps that the market creates? The opportunity in India that we face is of a customer discontinuity. Now, what is a customer discontinuity? Customer discontinuity is, as we develop faster than the rest of the world, there are a lot of new customers that are coming on the marketplace. Now, are we manufacturing products which are good for the new customers who are coming on the marketplace? And how do we get those customers onto the marketplace faster? That is a gap between the developed and the developing world. Now, what is new product development? New product development means what is the need for a product development, which means we are filling a gap. What kind of gap are we filling? We are filling a gap between a demand and gap. We are filling a gap between moral and conscious corporate filing. We are filling a demand between sustainability and what is not sustainable. How do we do it? We do it by putting resources and coming to the market with new products. Let me give you 2 quick examples to prove my point, what new product developments for a country like India is. I was staying in a hotel 10 years back in India, and this was a 7-star hotel. And usually housekeeping staff comes in early in the day. But I was surprised, this lady housekeeping used to come always after 6 p.m. And one day I couldn't hold myself, and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, why do you come out at 6 p.m.? I'm sure you're married, you got families, you got kids. Don't you want to spend time with your family and your kids?" Yes, I do want to spend time with my family and my kids. And those were the time when ESPN had come to India, and ESPN is one of the largest aggregated social media player on this planet. She said, if I come after 6 p.m., I get paid twice. So she might be poor, but she's not an idiot. She understands how revenue streaming works. Then I said, how many kids do you have? She said, I've got 4 sons. I've got mother-in-law in my house. And I said, okay, so what do you do when you come here? Who cooks for them? He said, look, my mother-in-law cooks for them. I said, wow, that's so nice of you. And what do your kids do? They said, look, I got 4 paid movies channels. I said, you got 4 paid movies channels? He said, yes. Now, I was so surprised because all my friends who were CEOs of great companies in India, they could afford only 1 paid movie channel. I said, wow, how can you afford 4 paid movie channels? He said, look, if I don't have 4 movie channels, my sons are going to go out of the house. If they go out of the house, they're going to spend more money. So I got to keep them at home. Hence, I've got 3 movie channels for them. And then the 4th one is for my mother-in-law. Because if my mother-in-law doesn't cook food, then who's going to feed my son? So the point that I'm making is ESPN, for the might they had, came and failed in India because they would not realize that a category of someone who's a room service worker would be a copious consumer of entertainment. They could not launch a product which was right for that class of consumer. And then whoever did won the route. So in India, we've got 78 news channels, we've got 102 movies channels, and those are all new product development. In North America, we've got 4 movies channels only. The point I'm trying to make is new product development emanates from a necessity. In a country like India, where per capita income is around $2,000, there's no business model on this earth which can say that I can get a product from North America or Japan or Europe and feed into India and say that a $50,000 per capita income market will do the justice to the same product as in a $2,000 per capita market. This is the reason new product development are extremely important. Now, if we calculate and if we see in terms of space, in terms of requirement, in terms of iron ore availability, East European countries, for example, Russia years, they've got 3 great steel mills, but it's not among the first top 7 steel producers in the world. Why? Because of the business model, because of the fact that new product development were not seen from the point of view of affordability. New product development was not seen from the point of view of bridging a gap in the market. Now, this is what we call inverted situation, where we are spending money, we are going ahead with doing new product development, but it does not do justice to the cause of it. At American Precoat, we saw such an opportunity in electro galvanized steel. Now, as Dr. Jha said, and as Mr. Acharya also touched upon sustainability, how long can you keep on digging? And I'll remain specific to steel. How long can we keep on digging zinc out of the mother? At a time when there will be no zinc. And is digging zinc a positive process or a negative process? So that is where the gap is. Now, 20 years back, a 100 MB personal laptop would weigh 12 kgs. Today, we've got 1 terabyte Macintoshes and Windows platforms, which hardly weigh 500 grams. What is the point I'm trying to make? Is quantity responsible for quality? Of course not. To give you a point, the gold standards in corrosion protection emanate from aerospace and nuclear industry. Now, that is what they do. Their standards are known as the gold standards. Now, what do these gold standards say? You'll be surprised to know, till about 15 to 18 years back, zinc cadmium coatings were most preferred for aerospace outer bodies in civilian practices. Why was that? Because cadmium as a source of material was most non-corrosive and most affordable. Now, what happened as we moved on? Let me give you an example. Zinc. You can deposit zinc in 3 parts. You can dip a steel into a hot bath. We call it hot dip process. You can hang a steel and then pass on electron ions. We call it electrogalvanizing. You can also do thermal diffusion of zinc. Now, let me give you an example. Between a hot dip and electrogalvanizing, where you can get a salt spray or a corrosion protection of anything from 1,000 hours to 4,000 hours, the same amount of zinc, if deposited through a thermal diffusion process, can give you a salt spray of 9,000 hours. So is the problem with zinc or is the problem with process? This is where new product development comes in. The question is this affordable? Is this something we can launch in India? Is it going to do good for the masses? Is it going to be a non-linear transformation for millions and millions of Indians who are becoming more affordable, who want to buy new products, who are coming onto the marketplace? Will they be done justice to if suddenly American Precoat says, hey, I got a vapor deposition thermal diffusion process for zinc where we can get 9,000 salt spray hours, but you can't afford it. You can see it. It's a beautiful product. I can give you a presentation, but you can't afford it. Is that a definition of new product development? So what we did was, as Dr. Jha touched upon, zinc and zinc alloys are the new phase of life. I have a paper in front of me. It's from Indian Academy of Sciences. I could share a copy with anybody. It's an acclaimed paper. I'm quoting Indian Academy of Sciences. I'm not quoting any Stanford and Harvard for the purpose of keeping this vocal for local. This says very clearly that the zinc nickel alloys obtained by electrode deposition process with nickel varying from 6 to 12% by weight give corrosion protection of 6 times superior to that obtained with pure zinc deposit. 6 times. So what am I saying? A 120 GSM zinc coated product is equal to 20 GSM zinc nickel coated process. Now there are 3 things happening in the process. You're getting more corrosion protection. You are depleting less common resource because you're digging less zinc from the earth. You're making the steel more lighter. That is why you are giving more mileage on mass to length in terms of cost. And plus, you're coming out with a new technology. There can be n number of alloys. Why zinc nickel? We can have zinc cobalt. We can have zinc iron. We can have zinc tin. We can have zinc titanate. Look for HVAC systems in India today. If you rip apart any air conditioner, what do you see? You see copper tubes. Don't get misled. There isn't enough copper in Mother Earth. Those are not copper tubes. Those are copper coated on zinc tubes. They're all electrode deposited copper on zinc. Now look at the shells today. The defense, the army that uses big shells, small shells. We don't have enough brass for the shells to pop out. We'll finish brass in 20 years. If each shell was made out of brass. The end of the shell that remains back when you fire an armory, right? So all those shells are electrode deposited. The electrode deposited copper, brass, and zinc on zinc, nickel, XYZ. American Precoat set up India's first electro galvanizing steel plant. It's a 0.27 million ton steel plant out of a place in Gujarat called Valsad. We do zinc, nickel, we do zinc, cobalt, we do all kinds of alloys, of our proprietary alloys that we've come out with for offering not only affordability, for offering new product development, for offering better corrosion resistance, and of course, giving something new that is required. Why? Because 100% of electro galvanized steel is imported in India, 100%. What applies to Japan does not apply to India. In India, we like cooked food. Japanese like raw food. The more the food is cooked, the more expensive it is, which is why sweets are more expensive than ordinary food. But if you go to Japan, sashimi is most expensive because it's fresh fish. That's electro galvanized steel was
Dr. Gautam, we are not able to hear you. Dr. Gautam, your voice is gone.
every new product development should be based out of a cooperative society. Yes? Am I audible? Someone said I was not.
Yeah, now you're audible.
Oh. So I was said, how do we do this new product development? New product development is in India should be done by way of some cooperative societies where every steel stakeholder needs to be a part of. It's a chain. The strength of the chain is equal to the weakest link. Unless we have the chain fully functional and performing, it'll be very rare that we enter into new product development. American Iron and Steel Institute said steel is the most laggard in terms of innovation as far as polymeric materials are concerned, and we need to overcome that thought process. We need to overcome that understanding of the fact that how steel can be one of the most innovative materials going forward. And I'm sure this is the way probably we can look at it. My 9 minutes up, Monica. Thank you so much, everybody, for giving me the chance to present myself.